So much in my life has changed recently. I wanted to capture this moment in time. I've been kind of traveling south for a little while now. Now things are looking up. So I like the idea of doing a self-portrait, but in miniature. I didn't want to make a literal portrait, something more representative of me. But what would a self-portrait of me look like? Because I think what makes me, me, is often the work of other people. I spend a lot of my days kit bashing models from more talented people than me, all in the pursuit of turning their work into something new. Not better, just new. This is what most people know me for, and without the work of incredible artists, I'm not exactly sure what I'd be, who I'd be. I think, in a way, I'm just a big, walking kit bash, which is honestly something I'm proud of. Kit bashing to me is art like collage, taking a bunch of things with their own stories and styles and recontextualizing them to say something different. And when I think about who inspires me, it's people from all different disciplines and backgrounds and the stories that they have. Maybe that's everyone. I don't know, but that's what I want my self-portrait to be. I wasn't sure what model I should use as a base for my kit bash, so I asked Instagram what mythical creature best depicts me. Of course, they said no. Thankfully, I just bought this genie lamp to make sure this humbling experience never happened, but before I could use it. Okay, so I got sent this. Well, look, you know, the wings, they don't really feel like me. The antlers, I dig antlers, but the toad body. A toad is very me. And so, I drew this. That will be my face, and that will be a me riding me as a toad. I feel ridiculous putting my face on a model, but I feel like doubling it down. I don't know if that's too silly, but that's the sort of energy I want to channel. I would need my face though, in digital form. Thankfully, when I bought the lamp, they threw in this mask. All I had to do was put on the mask, and then, honestly, that bit's kind of a blur, but it has a convenient USB. I just got the STL files from it, and I was ready to go. Sup? Hello. I'm in the digital realm at the moment. I've transferred over the STL files, and now I'm basically just hacking them up to turn them into something entirely different. I usually don't love working digitally, but it does have perks. Mostly speed, but also I'm really enjoying sort of the aesthetic of symmetry at the moment. When you make things symmetrical, they're sort of instantly beautiful. I don't know. I'm just really enjoying experimenting at the moment, and also with repetition. Like, I made these monstrosities, and I'm thinking maybe they're going to be for like Smash Bash or as a terrain set or something. But I made them by just like copying and pasting over the same model I made over and over, and then manipulating them in weird ways. It's not super important right now. That's not really the project I'm working on or should be working on. That's the toad, which is done, ready for printing. I printed this toad pretty big because I'm using an FDM printer, so there's lots of layer lines in it. But I used a resin that sort of filled in the gaps, and I thought, this looks pretty good, but we should go maybe even bigger. See, before I made the decision to leave my studio behind, my old studio, my old pride and joy, I filmed a video making old school terrain. This is How to Make Wargames Terrain by Games Workshop from 1996. You know, I've fawned over this book for hours and hours and hours and hours. But you know, it's occurred to me I've never actually made something from it. Circular huts are very easy to model. To make the hut, you will need a thick cardboard tube. It's 8 centimeters in diameter. Nearly. Yes. That is a doorway. A simple door can be made from, see page 80. Whoa, that's some gold. The conical roof of the hut is made by cutting a thin circle of card. The circle must be wider than the diameter of the hut by at least 2 centimeters. That's it. Hi.
Hi. So, have you been working all day on this hut? Has that been all day?
What do you mean? Well, I'm going to use freeform sculpt. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that roof. The hut's drying outside. Look what I found. These are from filament spools, and I think I'm going to apply my hut knowledge to making a tower. Which, you know, it says making a watchtower is very similar to making a hut, just a bit taller. I like those odds.
What have you done?
I just spent how long? A long time. Cutting shingles, placing them on. It kind of looks like it's not great. I'm just trying to squish them into shape and get them something, you know, like they started out nice and then they sort of sprawled everywhere. I made a grid. So now each shingle is 2 centimeters tall and overlaps by a centimeter, which gives a nice consistent look, but all the widths can be different. And that is where the story mostly ended. You know, I shuffled out of my studio, I lost the SD card in the process, and this is where my tower ended up. Unpainted, unfinished. Until now, because I thought, you know, what's more me? What's more me for a self-portrait than an unfinished project turned into something new? And also, I guess, what else is more me than making a giant creature with a house on its back? And it was nearly a match made in heaven. I just had to adjust the height of it, and I used all the excess materials to bulk out the base, which gave it a much nicer silhouette. You know, if I was going to make one kind of thing forever, as much as that kind of sounds like a nightmare to me, it would probably be something like this. And you know, while I've been making this piece, I kind of pictured myself in it. As lame as that sounds. Because right now, you know, there's kind of nowhere I'd rather be than on a big walking home on legs where I could go and visit my friends far away. Ideally not with my face on it, but if I could do that, I definitely would. So before I cover this in paint, I figured I should show you its raw state because I love seeing models while they're work in progress. This is a kit bash of like proper model kits, some 3D printed stuff I designed. These are like casts from old projects. This is from my castle build. These are in fact my fingers. When I was molding and casting my tongue, I did a alginate mold of my fingers and I left them to dry out in the sun. And alginate is like water-based, so the mold's kind of shrunk in places. So these fingers are really fat and this one is really thin compared to my actual fingers. Really weird. I'm kind of digging the silhouette of this piece. Like I want to have maybe a flag coming off here, a banner coming off here, maybe some strings and stuff for like tension. Adds scale, adds dimension maybe. To paint this model, I'm going for kind of a watercolor aesthetic. Soft colors, rough style, and a lot of layers. I want this creature to feel like it's come a very long way. I want it to feel like a combination of hodgepodge machinery and soft nature. Definitely there's like a lot of Studio Ghibli influence in this style, and I use screenshots from different movies as reference to find colors that I think would work. I also thought maybe some rope for a bit of scale might be... Hold on. So anyway, I strung the rope up and skillfully put every single one of my fingers in front of the shot every single time I was trying to demonstrate what I was doing. But I basically just used my cute bunting maker that I used in a previous project to make some nice bunting. I think we're done, like properly done, and just in the nick of time because I need to be on a plane to start my journey to Adepticon. Yeah, this adventure has just begun.
Put out your hand. Yeah, you can look.
Oh, Rachel, you haven't painted miniatures before. That's pretty good. It's kind of annoying that it's better than what I can do. That's really, that's really great.
Not very good at. Oh, there we go.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll use this when I'm in America. That's so nice. I am not in America yet. I have made a quick pit stop to Melbourne, Australia. I desperately needed a favor because I spent all my money on plane tickets to get to America. It's very expensive, but every part of me told me I needed to get back to Adepticon because last year was the most formative hobby experience I've ever had. All the people were so brilliant, all the games are so brilliant, all the art, all the inspiration. I hold all those memories so close to my heart. I needed to get back by hell or high water. And with very empty pockets, I made a deal with a company at Adepticon to produce a miniature, and that deal fell through at the very last minute. And I think the Aussie spirit is that when Viv and Ed, my two friends, heard about this, they worked tirelessly to produce that miniature in metal. That was going to be a part of that deal, but they made a physical miniature that I would be able to sell. So at least I would be able to eat and at the very minimum maybe trade it for some snacks. Because I was already sleeping on a hotel floor. I was just happy to be there. And I am so bloody thankful for those two. But they're going to make fun of me if I talk about this anymore. So I'm off to America.
Based on the idea that there's an internal ramp inside the pyramid, because one of the things that's puzzled academics is how the ramp was achieved.
A lot of people have asked me how my second year of Adepticon has compared to my first. And I think the first year was just filled with so much excitement and anticipation and nerves, and my second year was just this feeling of overwhelming love. I think for me, tabletop gaming has never been about the games. It's always been about the people you play them with. And I think Adepticon was the perfect example of that. A bunch of my friends and I have been working on a project for months called Mech 28, where we take the Mech 28 rules and we play them with Pokemon themed mechs. And we had every intention on that first night to play a game together, this massively anticipated game. And we lined up all our mechs and put them on parade, and what happened was we didn't play. Instead, we kind of just sat around and talked about what we'd made and what we loved about what each other have made and what we liked about each other. And I think, for me, that was one of the highlights of Adepticon. Sometimes it's not about the games we play, it's about who we play them with. You know, I probably should mention that a couple of days later, we did end up playing. And it was an absolute blast. And because so many people made mechs, extra mechs, we had a lot of people playing. And I came second to Tyler, $1 Billion Clown Farm, who was my favorite YouTube channel. So honestly, the loss was an honor, but next year, I'll be ready.
There's no teams, just loose affiliations. You know? Temporary loose affiliations.
I just want to say a massive thank you to friends, new and old, and all the people that watched my videos, that came up to me and gave me such kind words and incredible gifts and made me feel so welcome. Thank you. Everyone that bought my miniatures, thank you so much. I was eating at Adepticon because people were buying what I made, and it means so much. I sold every single one that I had. I don't even have a copy myself. I don't even have photos. This is the only photo evidence that I made a miniature at Adepticon, and I don't know when more are going to get made, but I'm very excited to announce that Ramshackle Games has published a whole bunch of the miniatures that I've been working on over the last year. Made by some of the best sculptors based on my art, hand cast in quality resin, and the masters were made by Matty Knucklebones, so you know they're bloody good. I'm so excited to tell you this. This is really a dream come true. You know, I went to Adepticon this year with kind of a secret agenda. Elle Graves from EG Makes, she makes beautiful walking structures, and that's something that I love. And we got talking and kind of egged each other on to play a game of Mech 28 with big walking houses. Alright, so this is mine. Close combat weapons, and I vomit.
My mech, I have very slappy hands and I move very fast. Slap and dash.
What are you doing? So I'm using my flame template and vomiting all over this window. And it was all downhill from there. After that initial vomit attack, I was slapped on the rear, immobilizing me. And then an exploding red barrel was propelled at me, exploding, launching me into the air, where I landed into my own vomit, taking my final hit points. It was awesome. And we'll do like a little effect with a slap.
Do that again?
But Elle and I thought we should really make some specialty rules for big houses who want to fight. And as soon as we got back from Adepticon, that's exactly what we did. And we made art on art on art for it. This is our little hack. Hex 28, it's free, it's an add-on for Mech 28. If you like it, we'll keep working on it. We've even been doing miniatures and stuff for it. After making that house, after playing that game, after making Hex 28, I came back to Australia with this incredible passion, this absolute need to make as much as I could with as many people as I could. So a few years back, my dad and we made a 3D printable bits kit when 3D printing was becoming new and exciting and most people were doing FDM printing. This has been really, really popular. After we released those bits, we got a lot of requests for a volume 2, and it kind of happened. We kind of started working on one, and then we both got very busy and it never came out. And I'm thinking I should just do it because this model has so many bits on it from that 3D printed bits kit. So I gotta release it, right? And we're gonna do a test print. Good luck. You know, something kind of silly is I actually use this 3D printed bits kit on this model too. And all these bits have just been living in this bits box. I don't even recognize that this is one of the ones that I'd made. It's been that long. All right, it's night time now. That looks pretty good. Oh, okay. I've just been working on volume 2 of my bits kit.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'll put that out tonight.
This kit was the first thing I had someone print for me ever, actually.
That's so nice. This is Steven, aka BigBoyGameTime, aka one half of Hillgiant, who made the very popular Cauldron. Steven might be the best graphic designer in the industry, and I love his work so much, and I've been wanting to publish something with him for a very long time, and we have. We made a little zine called Nothing But Bangers, which is a RPG agnostic rule set for arcane blasting, aka wizard guns. Might be wondering, Trent, are you in a scanner right now? And the answer is yes, I am in a scanner for one very particular reason, and that's Skin Graft Volume 1. BigBoyGameTime and I have released hundreds of free textures for you to use in whatever weird art projects you want, commercial free. You can sell all the junk and we don't care. I don't care. You just use them and make cool stuff and show us what you make, because that's why we made it. You know, this might just seem like we're handing you a bunch of junk, but for a lot of creative people, all this is really important. And I used to spend like $15 on some of this garbage when I was a graphic designer, because you have no time and you're underpaid when you're a graphic designer. So I thought it might be nice with Steven that we release it for free, so you just make cool stuff. I'm gonna get out of the scanner now. Okay. Bye. Then with my friend Lex, we designed a deck of cards together. And then with our other friends, a whole bunch of them, we made rules for them for tabletop RPGs as a magic item. I also contributed to a comic book. So cool. And while this was all happening, a bunch of my other friends were in a zine jam with me, and that's why we're making all this stuff. So when I got back from Adepticon, I came back really, really sick. But I promised my friend Matt from Totally Not Panicking that I would do Smash Bash this year. And this is what I made. This is plaster cast, and you'll recognize these faces from that digital file that I showed you earlier. I love that it's like this weird mix of physical and digital, because I'm doing things that you can only really do digitally, like all this weird face manipulation. And also the mold is printed in filament, so the actual piece itself has all these like weird layer lines and stuff, even though it's made out of plaster. And then I kind of got addicted to making stuff and releasing stuff. So I started collaborating with people without their permission. Projects I liked, games I liked, I would make something inspired by them and start posting. And posted every single day on Instagram what I was making. And then releasing those files for free. And I was doing this all digitally, so it was quite fast. I was kit bashing with my 3D printable bits kit. And I got some really weird stuff that I really, really love. Sort of my goal was that these projects I liked,
I would be able to help other people get started in those games. And I did my best to print these every single day, but then I ran out of money and I can't buy any filament yet. But I'll get there. In the meantime, I've made a beautiful gallery space in my old, now empty void. We should go have a look.
Welcome to the void. So I'm kind of excited. Last time you were here, it was just filled with all my unfinished projects. And now, it's kind of a place of pride. I think when I work in a digital way, my mind kind of works differently to when I'm working in 2D or kitbashing or sculpting in real life. And I'm really loving exploring that at the moment. When I see it all lined up, I realize how many cool things I'm doing, and that feels really, really great. I've also been using the void to store all my weird magical artifacts I've been collecting too. Oh, and this is also one of my mates I met at Adepticon. He's in a noise band and he needed a place to crash. But he is really great with antiques. How are you going with that book? Let's see. This book rocked up to my house a few months ago, and no matter what I've done, there's nothing I can do to open it. And I've been trying. I even bought this hat of unlocking, and it cost me so much money, and it's done... bugger all. Man, cool. Just email it to me. Or upload it to my itch.io, my public itch.io. Thank you. Okay. Guess we'll go have a look.
Why am I nervous? Oh, okay. Wow. What am I looking at? Okay. It appears to be a book all about summoning demons. I'm assuming it's for tabletop RPGs because it's all tables. But what's kind of weird, I know these people. I know all these people. Is this meant to be like a present or something? I feel bad for not opening it earlier. I'll send him a message. Okay, guess we'll find out.
The wax is almost dry. I'd like to show you before we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh man, I have so much to show you. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, rusty. I've been trying out some different rust techniques and I'm pretty happy with the end result. The secret is frosted glass effect. It makes the surface super, super matte. It smells so toxic though, so probably don't use it. I made this. This is for my Turnip 28 army that I'm working on at the moment. This tank. This is for the Still Tower for his Willy miniature. This is all 3D printed. These files are all free, by the way. Man, okay, it's light outside. It previously wasn't light outside. I've just been really struggling to summarize how I feel. I think maybe that's the point, that different projects bring out the best of me in different ways because of the different people that I have the privilege of working with. And that's why it's important to do so many different things with as many people as you can. And I think something I've really struggled with is this incredible anxiety over putting my heart into something and releasing it to the world and then not being good enough. And nothing ever gets done. But by making lots and lots and lots of things really fast and explosively and with attitude and with as many people as I can, this momentum just builds and I get thrown from one project to the next, to the next, to the next, and it's not scary anymore. And I can't lose that momentum. That's the secret. So how do I keep it up? Just do more, right? Also, every single person that has their name in that weird book, I was like, hey, what's with this book? And they're like, we have no idea what you're talking about, Trent. I don't know if this is a big game or something's up. Because I might have an idea.
G'day, cunts. It's me, Trent, from Down Under. Today we're using a whole tube of milliput to sculpt a giant penis.
Just use the audio.
I left a copy of Cauldron in the hand of the Terminator. So, if we get in trouble, it's got your name on it.
Oh, cool. My legal government name.
A couple of you commented last episode that maybe I was a little bit too rude to my new neighbor. And so I've worked with the wonderful Stark Crafts PS1 artist extraordinaire to produce this. It's a spitting image of my neighbor, right?